All right then, so let's clean up this code and let's create the navigation bar. So I'm gonna delete this complete stuff. I'm gonna leave the top of the things and I'm going to delete this. So for the navigation bar, we all know that the navigation bar is the top of the section. So we are going to use the proper header tag. Inside the header tag, first I need to bring the logo image, then and I need to bring the nav bar over here, nav bar. All right. So for this logo image, of course, whenever I'm clicking it, it should navigate the user to the separate page. So I need to use the anchor tag, a tag. So for the time being, I'm going to use the hash. If you want to take it to any specific page, type the web page over there. Inside the anchor tag, I'm going to bring the image. So to download any free images, so all you have to do is to type PNG Wing or PNG Hunter. You can choose whatever the platforms that you wish to download the PNG images. In this case, I'm going to use the PNG Wing. Over here, I'm going to download any logos. If you simply search for logos, you can find a lots and lots of amazing logos over here. So in this case, I'm going to use this one and I'm going to download this. Click download. So to fill this captcha, so 90w at. So now this will download that image. So with that, you have to bring it back inside your images folder. Then I have to rename it, and I'm going to give it as a logo. All right, so load this. All right, so here inside here, I'm going to bring the image and I'm going to load this image from assets, images tab, logo.png. Now you should be able to see the logo over here. Then first I need to fix this logo part and let's go for the navigation options and everything. So let's jump into the header. Inside the header, we have the anchor tag, and inside the anchor tag, we have this image tag, right? So this image should take the width of 120 pixels. Say this changes. That's looking good. And height, it should be auto. It should take the content height, and the object fit, how should fit? It should not fill the entire length, or it should not cover the entire length. It should keep always the content. That means it should keep always the entire image in the screen. So object fit contain. Right now this is fine. Now all I have to do is to move ahead and bring the navigation bar. So I'm going to use the nav tag. Inside the nav tag, I'm going to bring the unordered list. So basically we have two lists, ordered list and unordered list. Ordered list, like it will give you the number 1 2 3 4 5 6. Unordered list will use the bullet points. Now inside here, I'm going to bring the li tag and I'm going to bring the anchor tag, because whenever you click the home or product or whatever it is, it should take the user to that specific section, right? Or a page. So here I'm going to use hash. And inside this, I'm going to bring the home tag. Home, copy and paste it few more times, save this changes. Now you can see we have home. And let me change this to about. And let me change this to product. And let me change this to contact. So now we have 3 different menus over here. So now inside here, we have this list item styles, and we have this text decoration of your anchor tag. So we have to remove those things. So let's go here. And inside this header, I have this nav tag and I have this UL tag, and inside the li tag. So for this, I'm just going to say list style. It's going to be none. So now I don't have the list style. Now inside this anchor tag and li tag, I have this anchor tag. I'm going to say text decoration. It's going to be none. So now I don't have this text decoration anymore, right? That underline. So now I need to fix this. So for what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the header. For the header, this should take the complete width. So width, it should always 100%. Say this changes. But the header should always in the top of the list. So what I'm going to do, instead of keeping it justify in the center, keep it in the starting. Now it will be on the top of the list. All right. Now the header should keep the content in a row direction. So display flex. So now it is in the flex, but they should always in the center of the line. So align the item in the center. So now they are in the center of the line, and the width is too bigger. So let me make it 80 pixels. That's looking good. Now I need to push the contents on each side, each of the sides. So justify the content space between. I should use the space between. All right. So now it's showing the space between over here. That's looking good. Then I need to do the same stuff for this UL tag, because inside this UL only we're having the multiple li. So I'm just going to say display flex align item center and justify content everything in the center. Now they looks in this way. Then I need to increase the gap between each and everything as 24 pixels. So gap should be in each element should be 24 pixels. Now I need to bring some padding effects of the header. So what I'm going to do, padding top and bottom, let's keep it as 30 pixel, and left and right it should be 40 pixels. So you can see left and right is 40 pixels and top and bottom they are 30 pixels. All right, that's looking way much better now. Now after this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to adjust this anchor tag font size. It's going to be 20 pixel. Color, it's going to be #FFF. Save this changes. It's looking like that. So whenever I'm hovering it, I need to bring a small underline underneath this each and every li tag. So to do that, what I'm going to do is, so basically for everything, I'm going to increase the padding of this li tag. So padding. So you will understand why the reason I'm increasing the padding for each and every li tags. So you will understand it later. So for this padding and for this every li tag only, we are going to create an absolute position. For each and every li tag, we are going to create an absolute pseudo element. So this li tag should be the parent of that each and every pseudo element. So position, it's going to be relative. So after this li, I'm going to use this before and after pseudo element. Before, or you can say after. So I'm going to use the before. So before of this, I'm going to say position absolute, and I'm going to say content ABC. So before every li element, it should bring this content. Now you can see it's having the ABC. So the reason if I'm not using this position relative, this will be not aligned properly for this li tag. Right now it's referring to this, but if you want to align them properly, the li tag should be the relative positions, right? So then this absolute position will be perfectly mapped with your li tag. So I don't need to display any content over here, so simply ignore it. But it should always take the width of 100% of the parent and height 100% of the parent, and the background color, it's going to be red color. Save this changes. Now you can see it's taking that complete 100%. So let me keep this as 24 pixels. So now this is looking much better. All right. So then I need to bring this li tag. This should be z index -1. It should go back. Now you can see we have that over here, right? So inside the li content, none of this is coming in a center position. So what I'm going to do is, so let's try to do this. Display flex align items center justify content everything in the center. Now you can see the entire content which is inside that division, it's completely in the center. Now the box is perfectly behind the positions, right? And the border radius, let's keep the border radius as 5 pixels each, right? All right. So now what I have to do is, so this before width should not be completely like this. It should look like this initially, but when I'm hovering it, I need to bring that width. So what I'm going to do is, let's say, whenever I'm hovering this li tag, on hover, whenever I'm hovering the li tag, the before element width should be, so let's make it 100%. Save this. So now when I'm hovering it, it will looks like this. So let's add some transitions. So let's say transitions, let's say all, or let's keep it only the width alone with 0.3 seconds. So now still nothing is changing. Okay, so we added the transition in a wrong place. So transition should be added for the before over here. So now you can see This is how it looks. So if you don't want to make it the width as 100% something like this, what we can do is, let's keep the width as always the 100%. Sorry, over here, let's keep the width as 100%, and let me reduce this height to, let's keep this as let's say 20 pixels, or 2 pixels, something like this. Okay, and the width always should be like 40 pixels, something like this. You can see it's always over here, and let's keep this as 4 pixels, and 40 instead of 40, let me keep this as 60. That would be much better. Yes, that's perfect. So, and I need to push this a little bit downwards. So from the top, I'm going to push this 40 pixels down, something like this. I think that is more than enough. So let me change this to 50 pixels. Okay, that's perfect. All right, so width is 50 pixels and everything is fine. So now in this, I'm just going to make it as a 50 pixel. By default, it is going to be 0 pixels, something like this. Now if you expand it, it looks like this. This looks even much better than before, right? So this is all about how to build the navigation bar and all those things. You can align it however you want, keep the logo in the center and keep the nav bar in the both other sides. It's all about your own creativity. In this case, it's just a simple examples with some hover effects and transition effects. All right. On the next thing, we need to make it responsive. You can see it is not completely responsive. So to make it responsive, that is what we are going to do next. All right then, so in this section, what we are going to do is we are going to create a responsive navbar, which means we are going to convert this into a responsive navbar, right? So to do that, what I'm going to do is, let's go and write some media queries. So at media. So basically when it comes to media screen, so we have two different properties, media screen and okay, add media screen, and over here either I can use minimum width like this, okay, or I can use the max width. So what's the difference between minimum width and the max width is if I'm using max over here, which means, so this means from 600 pixel onwards. This means until 600 pixel. Okay, so until 600 pixel, what are the styles which I need to apply? So I can use the max width. From the 600 pixels, beyond the 600 pixels, like after 600 pixels, what I need to do, which means this is 0 to 600 pixels, and this is greater than 600 pixels, right? That's the thing. All right, so let me comment this. I don't want this. After 600 pixels only, okay, which means basically 450 pixels is for mobile screens maximum. So after 400 pixels, let's change this to DD 450 pixels or something. Yeah. So after this 450 pixels only, I need to display this UL. Where is that UL? Header, nav tag. Okay, this nav tag should be displayed only after this. Should be display block, right? Until then, it should not be displayed. So nav tag should be display hidden, display none. Okay, so let's refresh this. Okay, so now if I go less than that, it should not be displayed. What's the issue over here? Wait a minute, I think I'm confusing over here. Header, this is the header, and where is the UL tag? nav tag. Okay, this is the nav tag. Okay, so minimum width from 450 pixels onwards, it's working. So if I go less than, okay, it's not going for less than 500 pixels. If you notice here at the top right, you can see it's showing as 500 pixels. It's not going less than 500 pixels. So instead of 450, let me change this to 600 pixels itself. 600 pixels. Now you can see less than 600 pixels. So now we are in 622, 12 and 67. And once I reach less than 600 pixel, this will be hidden. You can't see that. But in the big screen, you can see that, right? This is how we can do it. So on the small screen, this will be hidden. Okay, this will be hidden. Beyond the small screen, it will be enabled black. From 600 pixels onwards, it will be displayed back. All right, this is how. So you have to fix on what basis that you're going to start designing. If you're starting designing on the small screen first, then you can use the max width. If you are designing the big screens first, then you can use the minimum width, right? It's based on how you are starting it. All right, so this is how you need to apply the media queries. You can write the media queries however you wanted it, right? However you wanted it. If you can target it on the basis like 0 to 450, from 450 to 960, from 960 to beyond that, it's up to you. All right, you can target on whatever the devices that you wished. All right, this is how you need to create a responsive media queries. This is all about this section.